Good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday to you. I woke up and for some reason I had just false prophets on my brain. And I always pray, I'm like, Lord, as I'm building my understanding, please let me speak, your truths, your words, not my truth, not my words, and not words inspired by anybody other than you. And so I was looking at the prophecies of Nostradamus. And before I go into any person who is supposed to be a prophet, I look at their background. I look at their belief system. What were they doing around the time that they wrote stuff, right? So Nostradamus was, I believe he was an alchemist. He practiced witchcraft and sorcery, right? And it's notable that he practiced those things because he was able to see or foresee a lot of things in the future. And I think as we think about God's prophets over the centuries, we really don't think about Satan's prophets, right? We don't think about his prophets. He had one that was intermingled in the affairs of the nation of Israel, but Belial, right? So you have all of these sort of sorcery types who are immersed in politics and social groups. And sometimes these people even summon these people for incantations or knowledge from Satan, right? Because when you think about all the way what humankind has figured out, there's a good and there's an evil God, right? And the evil God is the God of this system of things. He's the God of influence over these system of things, right? And then the good God is in heaven, and he's just watching all the behaviors of us. He's watching to see how we submit to the behaviors of this bad God, how we don't acknowledge him, it being in existence. These are forces that mankind has a choice to latch on to by their mindsets and their behaviors. And so when I was kind of looking at some of the prophecies of Nostradamus, I can say that, hey, he could have said some things in vision that were very accurate, because when you think about Bible prophecy, there's going to come a time in man's history where war is going to be all over the globe, constant. There's going to be massive amounts of people who are murdered. We see this in Gaza right now. We see justified murder in Gaza, genocide, right? And the whole world is just sitting back, just, oh, it's not right. But nobody's going in and really being a military force to help those people, because they're like, oh, you guys are terrorists, right? They're letting the whole world believe that those people are terrorists, right? And I really do believe that, when you listen to the people of Gaza, some of the individuals, and I look at videos on YouTube and Twitter, just recounting what's happening to those people in the last couple of years. The last couple of years, but also since last October. And you see people who have a sense of faith in God, and they're just being devastated, right? And that's what really is a method of Satan. It's like, I'm going to bring you devastation. I'm going to bring you irritability, right? So it wavers your faith in God. I noticed that when I really started digging into the word and really getting close to God and trying to center myself, all these like extra satanic forces just started coming up at me, impacting people I know, and just individual around me just being way more satanic in their energy. And I understand that, this is a way for Satan to test us. He needs us out of our element. He needs us irritated. And we have to understand kind of what Satan is doing, especially with believers. He's intentionally trying to make life hard for us. So with that being said, Nostradamus was likely a prophet of Satan. And anytime I see mainstream media sensationalizing a single prophet of all the prophets they could sensationalize, they sensationalize as a demonic one, right? Because Satan has been on this earth way longer than many of us in this generation. He knows how this earth works, and he also knows what God has done to help empower and inspire his people. Nostradamus' prophecies, to me, are not necessarily a warning. I don't think that his prophecies are a warning. I think that Nostradamus is showing us what Satan plans to do as he reaches his final hours of power. Because there will be a great war, and that war will be between the spirits and the flesh. So we're going to be seeing that the wars of the spirits manifested here on earth in the manner of the wars that are here on earth, the bloodshed that is here on earth. And Satan, pretty much just like God prophesied about the Antichrist, which will essentially be, once all the world governments are consolidated, there will be one king, one president, and people are not going to have the option to like this person or not like this person. And you know this because in the World Economic Forum, they're talking about, oh, we have this technology where we're all sitting in a room and I can look at the audience and I know how you guys feel. Why would they need a technology like that? Why would a technology need to exist to understand the sentiments of a person about a speaker, right? Why would that need to exist? A lot of times we look at technology as something that's going to be great and advancing, but really it's a way to destroy us, right? If there is a king or a leader of all the world and some people don't like him, they're going to be able to read that. I mean, that's kind of where they're going with this. We're going to be able to read if you don't like our Antichrist, right? And we're going to destroy you because of it. It may seem absurd, but the patterns don't lie. And Revelation told us that we need to look out for the signs and the patterns. And the signs are everywhere. The signs are everywhere. They're not even hiding some of the stuff they're doing globally to people anymore, but they're guising it under, it's for the greater good. It's for the greater good. It's for the greater good. No, it's for the greater good of evil that wants to populate this earth and dominate. So let me know what you guys think. But as I'm considering the prophecies, I'm looking at all the false prophets too. And I think that Nostradamus he's a false prophet, but he is a prophet of Satan, right? But I'm not going to say that the things that he predicted and said were not necessarily true, because again, Satan inspires his intentions as well. He has his prophets. So when we see things coming into fruition sometimes, it's not really of God's accord or his will. It's really Satan's accord and his will, because he's mocking God. He's trying to be like God. His ultimate goal is to be God, meaning that he has the entire world worshiping him. And what Satan's going to do is he's going to cause all this chaos and among the nations. Everybody's going to be fighting and killing each other. And then there's going to be a point where it stops. It's going to be just massive and global wars everywhere. And then you're going to have this prophet or this leader that is dynamic, and they're going to rise this person up. And I do believe that that person right now is a child, a preteen child. And I have my ideas of who he is, but they are going to raise this person up as a beacon of peace and security on earth. And it's going to be a beacon of peace and security under their one world order. And then you're going to see these wars stop, right? And then people are going to kind of go back into their ways on earth of prioritizing materialism, secularism, and everything like that. And even with all that bloodshed that humanity will be subjected to, they still won't have faith in God, and they still will reject God, and they still will fall into the same patterns that mankind has fallen into, that has literally destroyed our generations for generations. So there's a lot of signs that I think people need to be watching out for, especially if you are someone who's really diving into Bible works. We know that the Freemasons are an underground society. They're a satanic cult-like society, many of them. There are some Masons who are oblivious of the alchemy and the dark magic of their brothers. That is very true. There are some people who hold Masonic idealism not because of necessarily, it's just to be a part of something. I've met Masonic type people. This one guy was a journeyman, right? I mean, these guys are skilled. Some of these guys are skilled, and they identify, the masonry with being something of glorifying, their skills or abilities or whatever. But some people don't realize the dark intricacies of the Masonic organizations that have been around for centuries. They don't realize how these Masonic organizations have infiltrated many world religions with Satanism. Most world religions are infiltrated with Satanism, and you can tell that by the apostate preachers, the manner in which they preach to their people. They are not making their people alert of the signs of judgment. They're not doing that. They're, believe in God. There's just all that surface level stuff, that recycled surface level stuff. They're not preparing their congregations, mind, spirit, and heart to be able to deal with the level of adjustment to humanity on this earth. And it's going to be devastating. A lot of people are going to lose their faith. If you have faith, some of them are going to lose their faith in God because they're going to be blaming God for all of the things that this earth is prophesied to go through. And so having spiritual strength is important during these times. God is going to be with those who call upon him, rely upon him, not rely upon themselves. Anybody that's relying on themselves in the system, they are ripe for the demons, and the demons are going to take care of them all the same. So I pray that you guys stay awake, be aware, understand Bible prophecies and how they relate to the times that we're living in now, because there's going to be a lot of adjustments on this earth. Countries that once thought that they were sovereign, America, I say this, without crazy doom and gloom, but woe for America, because we are going to pay for our sins. We will pay for our sins. And I don't desire for any people or nation to be destroyed. But there's a lot of nations on this earth that have collected up transgressions and sin, and they're going to pay for it. So I pray for everybody. Because there's a lot of stuff going on in this world today, that they have all these blocks and censorships of information and news. I'm sitting up here like, wow, the 2014 Olympics were in Sochi, Russia. And now today, 10 years later, Sochi, Russia is under attack. By whom? I don't know, but they getting hit by drones. So this is the world we're living in, and these are the signs that John in the book of Revelation was telling us to look out for, these patterns of things that are building up to bigger things. The World Economic Forum, the United Nations, these are global control agents. They're agents of Satan because they're trying to consolidate mankind. They're trying to consolidate nations under one power. It just seems so obvious. So let me know what you guys think, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.